What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. We're currently about to begin trial number 2, day 1, technically. Well, technically it's day 2, but of the trial it's day 1. Shut up, Josh. You don't know what you're talking about. Alright. Day 1. Court is now in session. Oh, well, they're clearly telling me it is day 1. Court is now in session for the trial of Damien Tenma. Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. I'd know that big, booming voice anywhere. As chipper as ever, eh, Mr. Justice? But who's the young lady next to you? I'm Athena Cykes, Mr. Justice's junior partner and fresh out of law school. Well now, full of beans too, eh? Excellent. Makes an old man feel young again. Now for the prosecution. It appears the prosecution is not ready yet. Oh, I forgot the voice I gave Fulbright. I may have to just give him a regular one. Never fear, if I shall explain. It's just a minor procedural complication, Your Honor. The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak. Prison? Oh yes, of course. I almost forgot that he is currently serving time. Cutscene time.
Yup, Prosecutor Blackquill's an inmate. But even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
What a cool prosecutor. He's like, what's his face? Death the Kid from Soul Eater. Who's that with his back to us over there? That's him, I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackquill. Ahem! Is the prosecution ready? Humph! I don't know why I gave him such a sissy humph. It was probably very manly, like, huh. Enough jabbering. Get on with it already. Ah, of course, forgive me. Ugh, why are all the people related to this case so scary? Very well, Prosecutor Blackquill. Your opening statement, if you please. Ah, what's the matter? Some loud chains. Must we continue to fritter away time like this? It is all right there in the indictment. An opening statement would be pointless. Pointless? Oh, well... Looks like the cat, or in this case, the prosecutor, has the judge's tongue. Ooh, interesting song. But, we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand. Huh. Well then, your baldness, if it's so very important, why don't you do the honors? Who, me? There's a term for people who whine and fuss about how they need silly, useless things. And then decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. A selfish old fool. Huh? Wait, was that the prosecution's opening statement? Huh. Old dotard such as you are a plague upon the young. I pity your poor grandchildren. Or is it great-grandchildren? Oh, what a poor judge. I feel so bad for him. All these years I thought the opening statement was the prosecutor's job. But I suppose I could give it a try. Might be a nice change of pace. What? He actually fell for that. That must have been the power of suggestion. Mr. Wright was talking about... Oh, that was one sentence. Whoops. The opening statement, huh? Let's see here. The victim was one Rex Cuby, the alderman of Ninetails Vale. And the defendant, Damien Tenma, mayor of Tenma Town, terrible name by the way, is accused of his murder. And why, pray tell, was the mayor arrested? His prints were on the murder weapon. Plus, he had a motive, the elimination of the biggest roadblock to the municipal merger. The caretaker and the secretary, other potential suspects, both have alibis. And his daughter, who was also in the vicinity at the time of the incident, has no motive. So in a nutshell, I have to say the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible. Bravo, your baldness. Your years of experience shine bright like your head. Ho ho ho, flattery will get you everywhere. He's playing Simon Says with the judge. Moving right along now, let's hear from our first witness for today, Detective Fulbright. There it is. It's been so long. Actually, no, it hasn't. Since a detective is always the detective is always the first witness. Not always, but usually is, and they should be. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I am the detective assigned to this case, Bobby Fulbright. Oh, and I'll also be keeping tabs on old Blackquill here. I also heard you would provide protection if it ever came to that. It would seem that I have been sorely underestimated. Wait, who's protecting who from what? Still, I truly believe anyone can turn their life around, even old Blackquill here. Fulbright. Save your platitudes for funerals. Get on with your statement. Ha ha ha! That's the spirit. Justice must be swift and true. I see it in your eyes. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society. I will never give up on you. Prosecutor Blackquill doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright. Well, you know what they say, ignorance is bliss. Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was assigned to Blackquill. He's so oblivious. Now, let's have your first statement, Detective Fulbright. You got it. But first, I'd like to say to the defense that justice will ultimately prevail. Boom. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. About the murder. Alderman Cuby was murdered with the spear that had been on the wall. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. At the time, Alderman Cuby was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed a statue and struck back. Alderman Cuby had been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drug. That's right! The accused was scared because the alderman was a former pro wrestler. So he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. Here's the autopsy report to prove it. Cuby's autopsy report added to the court record. Cause of death, stab with a spear, estimated time of death around 3:20 p.m. The victim had been in a drug-induced slumber. Already, this is going to be important later on. If you recall, Filch was watching a wrestling match at 3 o'clock p.m. This occurred at 3:20 p.m. Therefore, he was watching the wrestling match and not paying attention. Boom. Ah, ah, ah. And the victim managed to attack his attacker despite being impaled by a spear? That sounds almost superhuman. Is it even possible? Well, he was a former pro wrestler after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him. Clearly not if he died. Not so fast. Don't try to brush it all off by saying the alderman had been a pro wrestler. Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Huh. Never heard of the incredible feats of which man is capable of in a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, wrestlers can battle through intense pain and sharpens their senses. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met in the clink. I don't know, it still sounds like a far-fetched. Does it now? Then perhaps we should test the theory on you with the edge of my blade. I didn't sign up for this. Oh. Loser! And so your life is spared, for now. Please let those shackles be made of titanium. I don't want to die. Ha ha ha! My investigations are as thorough as they are foolproof, or my name isn't Fulbright. I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest. The accused prints were on the weapon, and he's the one person without an alibi. Quite decisive evidence, wouldn't you agree, your baldness? The defendant is sounding guiltier by the minute. He has the judge leaning toward a guilty verdict. And the trial's just barely begun. Hiccups. Huh. Man, he hunts a lot. Gotta stop hunting. What's more, a curious rumor about the accused is making the rounds. They say he seeks the merger for the purpose of freeing Tenmataro from his imprisonment. Truth be told, I can think of no real reason to show interest in that backwards burg. Perhaps he's a complete nutter and really does seek to release an imaginary demon. Either way, he is raving mad and more than capable of murdering the Alderman. That mayor is a strange one, alright! I heard he went to a blood drive, but instead of donating, he tried to make a withdrawal. That's the man's voice. Order! There will be no gossiping in my court. Your baldness. Please take a gander at those charms plastered across his cranium. I hear they're meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tenmataro. Then again... What's going on? Perhaps he's already under the demon's spell. Behold! The lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment.
Hold it!
The rumors and quirks of Mayor Tenma have no relevance to this case. Besides, those charms on his head, they're just a fashion statement, I think. Come to think of it, such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they? The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation through the mud. Oh, what a dreadfully fearsome lass we have here. Whew! Thanks for that lifeline, Athena. Careful, Apollo. He has the judge dancing in the palm of his hand. The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackquill's arsenal. He's trying to manipulate everyone, his impressions to suit his objectives. This guy really is bad news. In any case, it seems the victim did manage to defend himself despite being impaled. What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker? None other than this statue right here. It appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle. Two yokai to be exact. On one side is the nine-tailed fox, on the other, Tenmataro. This voice isn't doing him justice. I don't think there's any voice I have in my repertoire to really do him justice. But I'll keep at it. It's as though this case were rendered in art. Fox and Demon statue updated in the court record. A lot of updates going on. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Goody. Cross-examination. Here we go. Alderman QB was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall.
Hold it!
So, those weapons on the wall of the Fox chamber, I presume those are real? Don't you think keeping real weapons around like that is rather dangerous? No matter what he collected, the Alderman insisted it be the real deal. For instance, he had a real demon's club in his possession. Apparently, one of his ancestors claimed it after defeating a demon in battle. What? That's gotta be an old wives' tale. Ha ha ha! The Alderman had pure, unadulterated justice flowing in his veins. Whatever he did it right. We've lost a real champion of justice in his death. Nothing but claptrap and balderdash if you ask me. Now stop your bleating and tell us about the weapon. Your wish is my command. The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon.
Hold it!
It doesn't make sense if you think about it. Prints could be easily wiped off. Huh. You do have a point there. I'd venture to say he did not wipe off the prints because he could not. What do you mean? Looks like he wants you to figure it out. Well, don't just stand there, show him who's boss. I'm totally lost. So why don't you just tell me the answer already? I don't think he saw that plea for help. You feeling alright, kid? Running a fever, perhaps? I wish Trials came with the reset button. Oh, but they do in my case. Well, the specifics may yet come to light. Please proceed, Detective Fulbright. At the time, Alderman Cubie was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested.
Hold it!
Come to think of it, a coffee cup was found on the floor. Was the sedative in his coffee? Bingo! We found traces of a sleeping agent all over the inside of the cup. And that is why he was out cold. That is until he leapt to his feet upon being impaled by the mayor. What an awful way to wake up! Heh, a rather stimulating eye-opener if you ask me. I too would have risen to the attack, for to die in battle is the samurai way. Paradise awaits fallen heroes, but that hole in his stomach would make eating a challenge. Oh, he's laughing. Eating a challenge! No, definitely not right. No, I'm sorry. Prosecutor Blackquill, please. These morbid jokes of yours have no place in this court. Huh, says the jester in detective's guise. Moving right along. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab.
Hold it!
So the alderman was drugged because he was really strong? Did you see those rock-hard muscles of his? I'm surprised the spear even managed to pierce that armor-like musculature. I admit, I'm completely jealous of that righteous body of his. I'm only a little gay. Well, he did look pretty buff, even in that suit he had on. Quite a difference when compared with a yellow belly like you. Woo! Yellow belly? Who even says that anymore? Yeah, and the color's all wrong, too. Oh, I know. How about a squishy red tomato? I move to strike both of your comments from the record. Mr. Justice's character is not the issue here. Now, let's get back to what happened after the far more muscular alderman was impaled. Yes, well, your average person would likely have died on the spot. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed a statue and struck back.
Hold it!
Could he really have attacked his attacker after being impaled with that huge spear? Absolutely. After all, he was once a pro wrestler. The injustice of being drugged and then speared was answered with a righteous counterattack. But does being a former pro wrestler make him superhuman? Absolutely! After all, he was one of the good guys, like a superhero on the side of justice. Even though he was retired, he could still don his superhero guise in times of need.
Objection!
You need to lay off the comic books, detective. We're talking about real life here. Setting aside the half-wit's flights of fancy, the fact is this. The court ordered post-mortem concluded the victim moved after his skewering. So he found the strength somehow to attack his attacker, huh? Detective Fulbright's testimony sounds alright. No wonder he's so confident. No, he only thinks it's airtight. It's up to us to poke some holes in it. That part about the alderman fighting back sounds like a big hole waiting to be poked. Okay, well, Apollo just gave us the clue about him fighting back. I would have questioned how they could have proven if he did fight back, but Blackquill clearly stated that there's proof that he did fight back. So, okay, let's look at the evidence. No. Nope, doesn't help. Definitely not. Nope. No. Does this? No. What about this one? Nope, definitely not. There's a statue, there's a crime photo. Let's see, we see the coffee cup's on the ground. Spear's in the guy. There might be something in this photo. I don't know about this one. No, I don't think so. Oh, there's still more, that's right. Nope. Let's see, eyewitness account. Nope. Nope. And stab with the spear around 3:20 p.m. Drug-induced slumber. Nope, we already know that's true. Okay then, Let's see. Fingerprints of the defendant Damien. We can't really refute that, can we? No. Let's see. Alderman QB was asleep from a drug. We've already know that's proven. The mayor attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. That's also, well, other than, you know, hold on. It is proven that he was skewered. He grabbed the statue and struck back. Oh, this is the last statement. Victim awake, grabbed a statue and struck back. Struck back. Hold on, though. Hold on. But how could he prove it, though? Weapon used to bludgeon the mayor. Mayor's blood was found on it, but no prints. It says it right there. No prints could be lifted. It's so obvious. What am I doing?
Objection!
I'm such an idiot. Did the alderman really strike the mayor? What? Are you questioning my sense of justice? Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. Unfortunately, we went a bit over, and it's 21.5 minutes, so I'm gonna end this video here, so stay tuned for the next episode. And thanks for watching. Bye! Oh, yep, they saw me. Let's go! Okay, this is taking a lot of bullets. Oh, what a waste. What a waste. I do want to use my other gun. I'll get to that. For now, let's conserve some of my ammo. Missing? There we go. One. There we go. Oh, you